Welcome to the future.
Welcome to the Muxall Open Internet of Things video blog. I am your host, Michael Crane. In this follow-up to video number 17, we will be demoing the web app used to operate our prototype Traeger BBQ controller. However, we won't just be looking at the app. We will actually be cooking something. This will give us the opportunity to really see the controller in action and how the graph can help us figure out what went wrong. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fire up the GUI now. So this is the main page, and as you can see, it's pretty plain. I was planning on adding some stats to them. Let's go ahead and just add a tab real quick. And originally my thought was I was going to control ABP. In case you're wondering, ABP stands for Automated Base Platform. So this clock stuff doesn't really matter, but let's go ahead and add the control page for the barbecue. So we'll go ahead and log in. This is just the name of the barbecue and its MAC address. I think this is correct. Let's go say, okay, yeah. So the device is online and it is reading 72. So, I mean, yeah, it was pretty close. It just took it a minute to level out. I thought it was a little warmer outside. It feels much warmer than 72 outside, but I digress. Well, let's just do a quick overview of this real quick, shall we? So the name of it is the barbecue controller. So we got the chamber temp. This is the current chamber temp. Target temp is when it's cooking, what it's trying to hit. This is for the meat probe and the target meat probe. It's got several cooking profiles. Well, it has 4 cooking profiles. And this is the time remaining on each profile. The barbecue is not running right now. And these are duty cycles, on time, off time. So these are the cooking profiles. And what's nice about this is, let's say you want to, smoke a brisket or something like that. And you want to go through a smoke mode of, let's say 180 for 60 minutes and then bump it up to, maybe 225 for, a couple hours, right? And this is all in minutes, by the way. And then drop it down and smoke it some more and do all kinds of fun stuff. And that's what the profiles are for, right? Or you can just, this manual mode right here is mainly for me. Like if I want to just give it the juice, I can just put manual mode, click this, say I want to turn the auger on 100% on time, right? and it will just spin that auger until it burns up or it runs out of pellets. And this is probably not a real safe thing. I don't think it's capable of getting too hot. I could be wrong, but I've never tested that theory and don't plan on it. This smoke control is interesting. So when I first wrote the controller code, plus or minus 10 degrees, somewhere around in that range, preferably right on the temperature. And I was getting close, but it's the barbecue smokes so much better when it swings. So like if it goes plus or minus 25 degrees and swings around the target point, you're going to get more smoke than if it just nails the target temperature and just sits there, right? And I'll show you that in the graph. The slew rate is how fast it attacks the temperature. And I've never changed this. I should probably just hard code it in there, but I don't know. For different grills, it might be different. This is the cook by probe, and I am going to use this today, by the way. I'm going to put it on my chicken. So it's poultry. It automatically looks up the recommended cooking temperature for poultry in Fahrenheit. You just click on cook by probe if you want to enable the probe, right? This down here is smoke when done or turn off when done. And smoke when done is kind of like putting it in an oven warmer. So if you want to keep your burgers or whatever you're cooking warm, when it's done, you can just put it on smoke mode and it'll basically run around 180 degrees. It won't go down to like a regular electric or gas oven down to real low temperatures, but that's the best you can get out of a pellet grill, right? Without it going out. And that you have to be careful with pellet grills. They tend to flame out on you if you try to cook at too low of a temperature. This down here, submit button is just to submit all the settings you just made, or we just made. These are my different recipes. So if you can see all the different ones I made. So, we're going to be cooking chicken legs today. And you're probably wondering, cook by probe, but yeah, I'll just plug it in one of the chicken legs, and as soon as it hits 165 degrees, they'll be done. And I usually don't cook by probe with chicken legs. Anyway, just for the demo today, we're gonna stick the probe in a chicken leg, right? Where do we go? Chicken legs. You can see it. It just goes in here and populates the profiles right here. And as you can see, it's pretty simple profile. This right here, if you're wondering, 350 degrees for 15 minutes. That's my cleaning profile. So I crank the barbecue up to usually about 50 degrees or more over the temperature I'm going to be cooking at. And I do that 15 minutes. And as soon as the 15 minutes is up, I get out there with the wire brush and clean the grill and all that stuff. And it's just a good cleaning cycle. And then you can see I'm just cooking them at 275 degrees for a couple hours. Oh, I forgot to mention these little hold check boxes. You're getting that towards the end of a profile, and you don't really want to add another profile. You just want to keep it at 300 until it's done, right? You can just click on hold this temperature, and it'll just sit there, and it won't go to any more profiles until it'll never go to another profile unless you uncheck the hold box, right? And this is where you can just change the name of the recipe. And that's it. And this turns the barbecue on, this turns it off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fire this thing up, and we can start our cook. Now, by the way, we're not having chicken legs for dinner. My wife, I think she accidentally thawed chicken wings, and she thawed enough chicken wings for a small Super Bowl party. Yeah, let's do 225 for, let's say, 30 minutes, and then we'll run it up to maybe 250 for 30 minutes. Oop. And then back down to 225. Since these things are so small, I don't want to cook them too much. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to stick a probe in a chicken drumette, but we'll give it a shot. I've also plugged in the meat probe, so let's, okay, we've already selected cook by probe. Okay, so, we got to submit this. And let's see, clean, 225 for 30, 250 for 30, 225 for a couple hours. We're going to cook by probe, so as soon as it hits 165, it'll be done, which probably is not going to take too long. And, all right, let's turn her on. Oh, yeah, I heard it kick on. There we go. Okay. So, all right, so our probe is reading 78 degrees. Chamber temperature is 71, or 72, sorry. Hopefully they'll settle down here in a second. Okay, so we're going to add the graph. All right. And this is what's kind of nice. So if you read down here, so the green line is the chamber target temperature. In other words, the temperature the chamber is trying to reach. The red is the current temperature. This is the probe target temperature, the meat probe target temperature, which is 165 is where we want our chicken cooked at. And this is the current probe temperature, which is reading 78 degrees. All right. And it's just telling, this is another stat saying the auger's on and duty cycle is 50-50 because it's in state warm-up, right? So it's still warming up. Okay, so I was kind of curious. I I was thinking I couldn't figure out why the probe temperature is off, and according to my Fluke, it's about 74 degrees outside, and I was curious. I was like, why is it off? And then it dawned on me that's another bug, and it's because my probe only jumps in increments of 4 degrees, and it's because I don't have a analog to digital converter, an ADC. And I'm just using the internal one on the I think it's an 8-bit on the Arduino. I don't remember, but my temperature is a PT100 RTD, and I just don't have enough resolution, get it down to, 1 degree increments, which 4 degree increments really sucks, let me tell you. And that's something that I've had to work with. I usually tend to overcook a little bit because I'd rather it be 4 degrees over than 4 degrees undercooked, right? And that's something else that's on my bucket list of things to fix, right? So here's a target probe temp. The red line's a chamber temp, and this purple line is the current probe temp, which is just dangling outside in free air. Unfortunately, 4 degrees off. And it won't always be 4 degrees off. When it starts heating up, it'll vary, right? It's just we just happen to catch it right at the edge of where it would change temperature, and you'll see it as it goes up. It'll stair step in chunks of 4 degrees, right? So, but anyway, that's a known bug. I completely spaced out and forgot about it. I was sitting there looking at then it dawned on me. Anyway. Okay, so the chamber temp is currently at 183. It's still in warm-up mode, so we don't have our target temp programmed in yet. And that's it. It's just sitting there warming up. So I'm gonna let this run for a bit, and I'll be back. Okay, so we've reached the end of the warm-up cycle, and as you can see, the warm-up cycle is about 5 minutes. It starts on 1 minute. I forget why. I think it's a divide by 0 something in the code. Yeah, so the warm-up time is about 5 minutes. And you can see it changed profiles to profile 1. It's at 350 degrees. It's probably not going to make it to 350 degrees in 12 minutes. I don't know. It might. Oh, yeah, see, it's starting to really ramp up now. Yeah, you can see it ramping up. So yeah, we might get there in 12 minutes. Should be around 18 minutes. So I'll be back. So as you can see, it's still in profile 1, and it's actually past the 18-minute mark. Let's see how much time we have left. Oh, we have 0 minutes left. It's getting ready to drop. Actually, if you look right here, it says profile 2 right there. So, and that's another bug I've got to fix, is all these things should line up at the same time, and sometimes they don't. But anyway, what I wanted to point out is you can see as it's getting closer to its target temperature, it starts altering the duty cycle on and off. Based on how much fuel it needs to dump in there to maintain the temperature it's trying to reach, and not just blow past it, right? Okay, so we can see it's just now dropped down to 225, and using my wire brush on the grill, right? And it's going to take a minute or so, and then I'm going to go get the chicken and throw it in there, and that's going to take a little bit, and by the time I'm done with this, I'll have aired the grill out enough. It'll be close to 225. Okay. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay. So didn't quite reach 225. You can see where I opened the grill, opened the lid, and on the grill, and I was scraping the cooking rack. I don't know. It only took me 30 seconds or less. Then I went inside and grabbed the chicken. Of course, I shut the lid on the grill, so I had time to warm back up. Then I opened the grill back up and put the chicken on. So then it at another steep drop, and now we'll probably see it. It's going to taper now because the grill's hot, right? It was at 350 degrees. 350 degrees. The metal's hot. Yeah, we'll probably see another little bounce here, but it'll eventually taper down, and I could go open it back up, but there's no need really. You can see the auger is only on 16 seconds out of 64 seconds, right? So let's see where we're at in profile 1. 23 minutes at 225, and it's going to go up to 250. Yeah, we should be all right. And here's our dinner. All right. And yeah, for 3 people, I think that's enough chicken wings. I'm sure everyone would agree. All right. I don't know. I'll figure out how to stick a probe in one of those things. Anyway, just thought I'd give you guys a shot. Okay, so so you can see. So this is, I think it was 223 on the camera. This is where I was showing you the barbecue outside, because I was bored, I had nothing else to do, so I figured I'd show you what it looked like. And you can see I opened the grill up, and it had a big tank right here. It'll recover just fine. 225 is real easy for this barbecue to maintain. The lower temperature is like 180. Those are the tough ones, at least for my grill. Some of the other Traegers seem to do better at those lower ranges. Mine struggles. So I went ahead and plugged that meat probe into one of the chicken legs. One of the drumettes. And you can see it kind of raised the temperature of a little bit. Let's see, where's it at? Yeah, 89 degrees. You know, when it gets close to 165, we'll see what the chicken looks like. Okay. You can see right down there, I plugged the meat probe into that drummet down there. And I didn't want to do it on the top one because I think those are going to be done first. And the ones on the bottom, especially the ones in the bottom surrounded by other chicken wings, are probably going to be slower. And that's my guess anyway. So I'd rather have them overcooked than undercooked, right? So anyway, I just wanted to give you that, show you where I plugged in the meat probe. And as you can see with me outside messing around with the video camera and showing you where I plugged in the meat probe, we caused another dip in our chamber temperature. But like I said, it should recover. So let's let this thing settle down and see what it looks like, okay? I'll be back. Okay, so now that I quit messing with it, it was kind of, you know, balancing out a little bit. Then, of course, it changed profiles again. So now we're on profile 3, which is the 250 degrees for 30 minutes. Looking at the probe temp on the chicken drumette, that's probably going to do it in. Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll be able to see it drop back down, but it's getting hot in a hurry. Hopefully we'll be able to see it level off at 250. And the way I have it on max smoke, and that's going to purposely make it swing. That's why the duty cycles are so high, right? So 19 seconds on, 60 seconds off, and the goal of that is to have it off so long is to let the pellets cool off a little bit, or not cool off, but burn up a little bit. And then you dump fresh on there, and the fresh tend to smoke more, right? Instead of, if you're constantly trying to keep it at a certain temperature, you're just putting a little bit of pellets on there at a time, you get smoke, but not as much as if you really just swing it. And so it's purposely going to swing like this. And as you can see, it's not a lot, but it definitely makes a difference. You can definitely taste the difference. Okay, so we were kind of cruising along here for a bit, had a little bit of a hiccup right there. Not sure what happened right there. Then we changed temperature, and actually I opened the grill up. I don't know, somewhere around here, probably down here somewhere. just to show my wife I was actually cooking something and not just playing around. We actually made it through the 250 cycle. That was pretty good. See, these are good swings right here. I like this. This is a good smoke swing. I don't know what happened here. Didn't quite make it. And you get these from time to time, right? You know, sometimes you'll get a spike or a drop. I don't know if there's like gaps in the pellets or the alignment of the moon, but it always happens. I don't know why. I haven't figured it out yet. But anyway, it looks like it's pretty good. It's going to hit 225. And as soon as it hits temperature, by the way, I don't know if I said this, but when it's on cook by probe mode, it turns the barbecue off when it is done. Or I guess it goes into smoke mode, depending on which button you have clicked here, or radio button. But what's nice about this is you can just kind of ignore it. Right? You know, if you're outside drinking beer, hanging out with the friends, and you know, you don't really want to pay attention to it, but you don't want to overcook anything. You can, you know, this cook by probe is really nice because you can just turn the barbecue off when it's done. Well, and that's pretty much how it turned out. I had to put the barbecue in manual mode. You can see right here at 6014 because the wife came out and started complaining that it was taking too long. And as you can see, it pretty much stayed in this one temperature for almost 50 minutes. So yeah, so I had to put it in manual mode. As soon as I put it in manual mode, it started creeping up. You can kind of see the temperature going up. And then this big dip right here is me pulling actually I was putting barbecue sauce on the wings, and then I turned it off. Oh, and this right here, this drop right here is when I just took the temperature probe out. When you put it in manual mode, it overrides everything. So temperature probe wasn't doing any good at that point. So, okay, I need to get her done. So that's where we're at. So anyway, that's it. Don't forget, you can support the Muxall Open IoT channel by donation using a credit card and PayPal, or by purchasing products at the Muxall store. Details and links are under the description under this video. Well, that's it for this video. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. That helps. And hit the subscribe button. That really helps. If you have any questions or comments, post them in the comments under this video. I'll try to answer them the best I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.